Okay, perfect. 2025, a revision. I did try and fuck her. I moved on her very heavily. I moved on her like a bitch. Just kiss. Don't wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. The honorable words of our dear POTUS. And in tribute to the pig of the United States, I wrote this pledge the other day. I pledge allegiance to the fags of the United States of America, and to the bones on which it stands, but not this nation and not one God or that motherfucking bigoted, racist, rapist Trump, who tries to divide us with hatred and disrespect for all. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, where white boys get off clean for rape and pillaging, and black boys die in the street shot down by our police, where women still haven't seen that ever-elusive equality, and the government still believes they should have control over our bodies, where gender is policed by small-minded bigotry that makes some people afraid to pee near transgender company, but those white boys are getting off clean for actual rape and pillaging. 1 in 5 women will be raped at some point in their lives. Your sisters, your daughters, your mothers, your wives. The system fails us at every single turn, so it's your job to listen. It's your job to learn. It's your job to teach your sons and brothers what not to do so that they don't fall in line and take the president's cue. Oh, say, can you see, by the dawn's early light, a future waiting for me where I don't have to fight, where I don't have to be afraid when I'm alone at night, and I don't have to fear every man in my sight, and I know that my safety is simply my right. Yes. Woo! I wrote that poem in 2016.
Oh, wow.
And it's as relevant today as if the last 9 years were just a dream. I feel like I'm going insane, like every day is Groundhog Day. I wake up and all I want to do is scream at the top of my lungs on the top of Sears Tower, but that's assuming it would make a difference. That's assuming a female voice has any power, but nothing is different. I've been speaking for 11 years on this stage, pleading my concern, screaming my rage, begging for something, anything to change. I've changed some minds, maybe some lives, but when it comes down to it, in the final hour, when it really counts, and I can feel the breath of Handmaid's Tale on the back of my neck, I look around, and somehow we've taken 3 steps back. 4 men touched me without permission today. Just today. Manhandled me because they thought it was their right. My body, their choice. Where have I heard that before? Since the election, boys have been saying that to girls in schools. Your body, my choice. They think it's funny. They think it's cool. They don't understand just how much choice can be taken by a man when you don't have a voice. I could stand here screaming all night, but apparently I am on mute. I am meant to be silent but cute. I am meant to be quiet and subdued. I am forced to be the subject of violence and abuse. I am seen as a thing that was made for men's use. And if this country has taught me anything with their vote, it's that it doesn't matter what they do. America doesn't give a shit if a man is a rapist, if he promises lower taxes, if he's one of their favorites, if he qualifies for the Olympics, if his song's on their playlist, if he can make them money, if he's on their favorite team, if he finds them funny, if he's in their favorite scene. America doesn't give a shit if a man is a rapist because it all comes down to their hatred. They'd rather persecute trans lives for crossing their imaginary gender divide when they could just change it. They'd rather ruin their families with generational curse than take the time to break it. And the government they support is sacrificing their kids to gun violence over a paycheck. Their priorities are fucked, and so are we, walking around wondering if today will be the day that we can no longer call ourselves free, and that's if that's something we all actually consider ourselves to be. I feel chained to a country that clearly doesn't want me, just wants me to help fulfill its needs. Like every man I've ever met on the street who has the audacity to harass me, this nation chooses violence over peace. It chooses bigotry and greed. It chooses the man's bottom line over a woman's safety every time. And just like that, I remember those words, my body, his choice. My body is my worth, but not my choice. I'm worth being forced to give birth, but not given a voice. I am worth being raped and not being saved. I am cattle to breathe, a flower to seed. I am worth a good fuck, but fuck my needs. The message is clear. It's not confusing or long, and I'm exhausted trying to fight back, but if you thought that would stop me, you'd be wrong. So I will scream and scream and scream into the void until I hear you scream back. Till our voices gather and rise. I will curl our voices into fists of steel, and I will aim them towards the skies, because fuck the people people running this country, and fuck the bystanders who let them. May they live long enough to see the truth, to see their choices and regret them, because we will take back this country with our rage and our love, and we will burn their effigies to send a message. We will carve the words into the White House walls so they won't be able to forget them.
Yeah.